should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. Preferably in a residential area.
The following thoughts on Hoppe Hour do not represent Cox Media Group or its sponsoring. Anything you hear may and will be used against you. Thank you. Voted as best local podcast in Tampa Bay by the Creative Loafing.
Hey, Nervous Jared, or now Producer Jared, how are you?
Oh, what's going on, man?
7 months ago, this interview would have been me with about 12 things I would ask you. Where'd you grow up? Who's your influence? How's your day? How's Erica? How's life? How's the dog? I would have had to get everything in there. But now it's just us talking. Like 5 minutes ago, I was just like, do you want to do the show? And you're like, yeah. So how's everything been?
Dude, things have been really good. I mean, since I was last on here, like you said, I've moved over from where I was at 1025 The Bone. I'm over at Hot 1015 now, doing mornings with Miguel and Holly, who you just had on. So it's been an interesting
ride. She will be
ride.
on in a few weeks.
Nice, that's awesome, man.
So I've had everybody from the Hot 1015 morning show on.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's the transition like, though? Is it weird going from male-oriented talk radio to top 40 morning?
Yeah, a little bit. I've had to choose my words a little wiser.
And you can't yell at the audience for once?
I haven't had to yell at the audience at all. I mean, it's a completely different animal, which is a great thing about it, man. It's I'm having a lot of fun. So it is a transition, though.
What was it like when you set up that interview with Nick Carter and it made it to TMZ, and then he ends up getting a DUI anyway?
I thought it was absolutely fantastic. We from the get-go knew we had to ask him about Jameis Winston. The guy's a huge Bucs fan, so he kind of just happened to give us gold. And the very second he said it, we weren't even done with the interview. I went, that's newsworthy. We're going to have to send that to TMZ. And they grabbed it right away, and it went global. And that was an awesome feather in my cap, at least. And just to see him then get popped himself.
Did it get you guys a lot of likes on Facebook and a lot of traction?
It did get us a lot of traction. They didn't direct anybody to our Facebook. I mean, when it comes to TMZ, they want everything to go back to them.
That's kind of tacky. I don't respect that.
And it's all good because they did us good by saying it was us and keeping our name in the audio, which was one thing they could have took out, which I purposely put in. I believe it's probably at the end of the audio that it's in there, and they could have took it out. They could have edited that down, but they didn't.
Now, what was it like when you found out it was on TMZ? Could you believe it was real life, or did you think it was going to happen anyway?
I didn't think it was going to happen. We sent them the audio, and nothing happened. They didn't respond back to us that they got it or anything like that, and I just happened to be on Twitter, and I saw it happen, and I texted Miguel, and I texted Holly, and went, this is happening. Check your phones, and then it just started to snowball from there.
How pumped was Miguel? Because he's a very happy person as it is. So how did he react?
I think we were all extremely happy. That's the thing, though, is it's something strange like that, I mean, people were taking notice of something that we did, and not necessarily that we did, that Nick Carter did, but we were a part of that, and it was kind of cool.
That's what was so unique about it. It wasn't like you had someone that's like famous or matters. Like Nick Carter has not mattered since like 2001. So you guys got gold out of him, which shows why you guys have a good show. Because most top 40 morning shows would just be like, what are you up to? How's it going? What did you have for breakfast? But you guys brought something out of a no-name.
Well, that's the difference between, I guess, us and a lot of other shows is everybody does have a standard line of questioning. We don't want to ask those questions. We had Tim Gunn on today from the show Project Runway. He's one of the judges, and we didn't ask him about his show at all. We had no interest in asking him about his show.
Because every show that he was on this morning when he does the radio interviews asked him that, so it had to be refreshing.
Exactly. We want to talk about just regular shit with him, and like that's what happened. Like he gave us advice, just life advice. It's something he's not giving everybody else.
I don't really respect the shows that just ask the pre-planned things. I respect that they're on the radio, but to me, I prefer talk shows like the ones on the Bone or what you guys do with the morning show. I like a show that's more of a conversation and not pre-planned things that are being asked.
Yeah, that's the thing about radio to me is, I mean, when I listen to something like that, I want it to feel like I'm in the room. Like these are questions I might have. I don't care about your TV show sometimes, but I want to know, like, how much money's in your pocket right now? Who's your best friend? What's going on in your life? Like things that like other shows aren't going to be giving you.
What do you think of the approach that I take? And by me saying this, I'm not comparing myself to Drew, Kelter, Opie, and Jimmy, or Adam, but they do that type of radio where it's not an interview like a guy like Rover or Howard would do, where it's like pre-planned and they go off of it. What do you think of this type of radio where it's more just two people talking at the bar? Do you like it?
Yeah, you have to, because that's how it is in real life. If I sat down with you and I didn't know who you were and we were just sitting at the Bennigans, I'm not going to go, okay, let's go over these questions. Ryan, okay, that's what you said, starts with R. No, you're just going to be shooting the shit. Go, hey, what's up, dude? Like, that's how it's going to go.
Is that how Miguel does the show?
I don't know how he did things before. I wasn't a part of that, but like ever since I came in, like it's been of my own fault going, hey, we got to interview in about 10 minutes, man. But stuff like that, when it's on the fly, stuff goes great.
Has there been any bits that have been on the fly, on the spot that come to your mind?
I mean, stuff like that happens all the time. Like we talked about something this morning. Like when a show starts, we always have everything planned out. Like, this is what's going to happen around here, this is what's going to happen around there, but stuff always changes. And we had that this morning where we started talking about Drew and Holly, because Drew Garabo and Holly O'Connor that you're going to have on. We started talking about them, and it was something that wasn't planned, but it came out great.
Now, do you guys, when you guys talk about Drew and her, do you guys have to hold back since you guys have an audience of teenagers a lot and females, or do you not care because it's real radio?
To a certain extent, one of the good things that you have to do, and at least I've noticed with them, is they'll go, this isn't kid-friendly. And that it was just a great common courtesy to do. But yeah, sometimes you kind of go balls to the walls a little bit. So, and then sometimes you got to realize what time you're saying it. If I'm saying it at 6-something in the morning, I'm not going to get as many kids listening as I would probably around 7-something.
It has to be weird that for once you're doing radio where kids are actually listening, because most kids aren't listening to the bone unless they're preteens to teenagers. It has to be weird that now you're being listened to by middle schoolers. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a little different. I mean, every now and then on the bone, we did have kids who would call in and we go, "Why are you calling us? Like, what are you doing?
Go away."
Yeah, like, but no, now it's very interesting. I'll take calls all the time from kids. Like going, hey, when are you giving away Beyonce tickets? Or, hey, can we talk to Miguel? Yeah, sure, I can let you talk to Miguel. Go for it. Like, I think the difference between Top 40 and All Talk is that that demo is just so wide open or on music radio now.
What is your key to getting the name out here in Tampa Bay since you guys have been here in about a year? You've been doing so well with spreading the word on social media, etc.
These days.
How do you help make a splash for the morning show here in town?
I think from the moment I knew I was going to be joining the morning show, that was the biggest thing. Is I want their name out there as much as possible. We're in a battle right now, and I'll pull back the curtain a little bit on. There's three CHRs or three like top 40-ish style morning shows right now in Tampa, and we're trying to go against ones that people recognize. Like in this market, there's one across the street from us, and there's one down the road. The one down the road has been in this market for a long time. Not as long as Hot 101.5 has, but it's one of the ones that people, when they think of top 40, sometimes that's the one they think of right away because it's just just mentally what's been inscribed in them. No, that's not what I want anymore. I want people, when they think of Top 40, they think of Hot 101.5, and when they think of Top 40 morning shows, they're thinking of us. And it, little by little, we'll get there, and that's one of the biggest things to me.
Do you think the show is growing?
Oh, absolutely, man. The show, only 7 months in, is completely different than what it is now. Like, they've been around almost a year now, and from the moment I jumped on board, I noticed like that people love what they're doing. The positivity is there, and that's something that's refreshing as hell, man.
What are some things you guys are doing that's getting you guys traction?
I would say, I mean, you got to stick to the things people know, things people love. Like, they want to talk about the weird shit that happened in their lives. They want to think of things that went, damn, that is fucking kinky. Like, that's stuff that people want to talk about.
Is it ever hard, though, when you guys get into a real topic and then it's time for a song break? Is it ever hard to reel it in?
No, not at all, man. It's I think being in a room with people that have done it for so long, they know what their bread and butter is. They know you set it up here, give you about 2 minutes of setup, give me a song, and I hit the punchline right away. Like, yeah, sometimes we're gonna get calls afterwards, and that's what's really cool is when people call after the bit's done and go, I still want to talk about this.
And then do you guys go back and talk about it?
Absolutely, you have to.
Because you have to get the listeners involved, especially if you want to be the morning show when it comes to top 40 that's the most listened to in this market. The listeners are the ones that we need to care about. For any show, for any genre, we need to be the people that cater to the audience.
Oh, I don't think it's just radio, though. I mean, you could be selling newspapers on the side of the road or working the counter at Dairy Queen. You have to know where you're making your money, and your money is coming from the customer. I mean, and the listeners are the customer. If they don't like what we're doing, we're gonna know because people are gonna tune out.
Now, has there been a time where you guys have had to fight adversity since you joined, or have things been pretty positive?
Things have been pretty positive, but I mean, of course, things don't always go right, and I would say that's what any job. I mean, there's nothing that's really stopped us in our tracks. We've had to overcome some things. We lost our boss right around the holidays. He decided he was going to leave and go somewhere else, and we didn't have a boss for a little while, so we was the wild, wild west in there, but things like that, you overcome them. We have a new boss now, so we're relearning some of the things that we didn't really do before.
What's the new transition been like since Johnny Cage is the new program director of HOW 1015?
It's been intense, and that's the one word I keep hearing over and over again, is because he believes the way that I believe. We want to be the biggest, best morning show in top 40 around here. And you know what? You got to go balls to the wall sometimes and do that.
How are you guys similar when it comes to being intense? How are you and Johnny Cage thinking the same way?
Dude just wants to win. And you know what? If I'm, not just me, I think anybody in radio, that has to be the mindset you have at all times. I just want to win.
Dude, I know people think I have an ego. I know people think I talk about myself a lot in the interviews, but me and you are so alike that we're young radio geeks and we want this more than ever.
Of course,
the fact that my show's growing, the fact that I've been here for 9 months going on a year, I have never been hungrier. I'm like some guy who can't afford to go into a buffet but just wants to get in and eat all I can. Dude, I am starving for success.
And that's what you have to have. Like, there's so many of us out there that really just love this business, and that's the great thing about it, man. I commend you for that shit, because you could have given up at any time.
Oh, people could have given up on me at any time the first few months when I wasn't on my meds and I was being a loser, or not a loser. Monica told me not to use that word today, for being a pest who is hanging out here a little bit too long. But shout out to Kelta, Drew, and Olivero for believing in me. Basically, dude, I was going from a bad situation in Cleveland where I was being exploited, made fun of, treated like dirt, and I was like a broken puppy in traffic in Brooklyn, and everybody took me under their wing, and now I feel safe.
And that's one of the things. Like, I've been in radio 7 years next week. That's officially when I started. And if it wasn't for people like you said, and other people across the country, people you've had on here, Jason Bailey up in Atlanta, Chet Buchanan out in Las Vegas, Chubbs, who's now formerly the Billy Madison Show, now in Panama City. If it wasn't for people like that, those are guys that have helped me get to where I am, and because they're just as passionate as I am. They're just as passionate as you are, and I think passion is the biggest thing in this business. If you lack that, you're going to fucking fail.
This might sound weird for me to say, but I'm beginning to get a little bit jealous of people who have been in radio for 20 years just because I want to be them and I want to be in their position. Do you ever find yourself jealous because you're hungry, or do you keep yourself humble?
I try to keep myself humble because
it's hard, though, because at times I'll do these interviews and I'm proud of myself, but I'm so hungry for it, dude. And I hate saying that because it makes it about me, but I want it so badly.
I think I try to stay humble, though. Like, that's, to me at least, because I know there were times when I thought I couldn't do it. Like, I thought I couldn't make it in this business.
What was that like when people said you would never make it on the air? How heartbreaking and hurtful was that?
It does hurt. It does hurt when that's what all you want to do. But, I mean, I've never let anybody stop me from doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
And by doing that, at least, it's pushed me to the position I'm at now.
I'm the same way, dude. I was made fun of throughout high school, and then the previous job I worked at, I appreciate the opportunity, but the fact that it was said that me moving here was a lateral move and that it wasn't going to work out, that was some motivation. Like, I let the hate, I let the unconventionalness of myself push me to where I'm at and to where I want to be, dude, because we're both unconventional. You're much more conventional than me, but, dude, you don't need the radio voice from the 70s.
No, it doesn't exist anymore. That's the thing. Everybody can talk like this if they wanted to, but it doesn't work. It's
tacky.
Not that it's tacky. It's not what people want anymore. People want personality. They don't care what you sound like. You could have the highest voice in the world, or you could have the lowest voice in the world. It doesn't
there's
matter.
people with lisps that do shows.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you could have a lisp. You could stutter. I stutter a lot.
I do too.
But the thing is, it doesn't matter. I mean,
if you're real and you're entertaining, that's all that matters.
Exactly. I mean, to some people it does matter, but at the end of the day, people want personality, and it's been proven that people want personalities.
What do you bring to the air? How have you changed over the last 7 years?
Over the last 7 years, man, I've been the moniker that was given to me was Nervous Jared. That's not fake. That's not that wasn't made up for no reason at all. I mean, that's how I was, man. I was shaky as hell behind the mic because I didn't know what I was doing. All I knew is I wanted to be here, and I was like an excited little puppy. But I've tried to hone that in a little bit. I've tried to use everything that it's been brought to me and just try to make it work, man.
When was there a point when you quit being the shaky little dog?
I don't think there's ever a time where, to this day, I'm still excited about things.
I am too.
If you lose, it's like something that I've heard in sports all the time. If you lose the excitement, get off the court because you shouldn't be there.
I'm focusing on being the Kobe Bryant of this sport. I'm focusing on being the Peyton Manning, the Derek Jeter. I'm shooting for the top notch, dude, the top ranking.
And you always have to be. It doesn't matter if you're in Tampa, New York, which is the biggest
or Fargo,
baddest market in the world, or Fargo, man. As long as you have what it takes and believe you have what it takes, man, then you got to keep it fucking moving.
Where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years? How do you want to transition? Because you went from being Nervous Jared to producer Jared now for the Miguel Show in the top 20 market. Where do you want to see yourself next?
I think next, I don't know what my next move is, actually.
I don't either, man. It's weird.
But what I want out of everything is I want to eventually. This might not happen 5 years down the road. This might happen 10 years down the road. I don't know, but I want to have my own program. And
I do too, dude.
I think that's what everybody wants.
My thing is I want to have my own program. If it's a podcast where I'm making the money, if it's a radio show, a show on Sirius XM, an internet show, as long as it's my main job and that's how I'm getting the fan base and the money from,
sure,
that's what I'm focused on. Having a second job is cool, but at some point I want to be the guy who gets the contract, who gets the nice house and the nice car.
That's what everybody wants.
And I want it more than anything, dude. And I try to be humble and I try not to make it about me, but man, I want to make that brand something.
But that's the thing, and you're working on that, and that's what's awesome. I think everybody, doesn't matter when you start in radio, you always have that. You always have a goal that you want, whether that's your own show or whether that's just to fucking eat comfortably. And for me, I'm pretty happy where I'm at, man. I can't complain. There was times when I was over at the Bone. And I'll peel back the curtain a little bit, and I've said this on air a couple times that I didn't think I could do it, man. I felt like quitting at times. There was times I didn't want to be on the air. I didn't want to be in the studio. I didn't want to talk to anybody. But the mindset was always, you just keep moving forward.
Dude, you seem so much happier. When I first joined here, you were working at the Bone, and you were passionate, and you worked hard to get the show ready, but you seemed so burnt out and tired. And now you seem so more rejuvenated and happy and passionate.
I am, and it's one thing we say on the morning show. You have to take responsibility for the energy you put out there. And yeah, I wasn't happy, and it proved, and people saw that. Like you said, I wasn't 100%. I wasn't 100% in control of my situation, and it proved at the end of the day. And I mean, But you know what? Now I'm in a lot better spot. I'm extremely happy where I'm at. And that's no disrespect to the guys I worked with before. Just sometimes it doesn't work out that well.
What was the time where you came to the thing that you knew you had enough? When was the realization when you're like, I need to make a change?
Wow. I think...
Like, for example, mine in Cleveland, I appreciated every second of being in the media market of Cleveland, in the 34th biggest city. I appreciated it. But the moment when I knew it wasn't going to work was when I had pubic hair on my face and when I was forced to talk about my meds on air and incorrect facts were being spewed.
I think anytime you have pubes on your face is not a good
or
not
sniffing
a good
foot
situation.
cheese.
Yeah,
or even before I was hired, the moment that I wasn't sure about myself, Nervous Jared, the moment when I wasn't sure about myself, Jared Day, the moment when I was like, what's going on here, was when I was trying out for the show and I gave it my all and I was catfished. That's when I was like, what's going on? It's been viewed 50,000 times.
Well,
my naked ass getting catfished.
Well, you're internet famous at least. For me, and this is nothing against a cat named Mo who you've had on this show. Me and him got into it one day on air, and I kind of realized right then and there that it was things were eventually going to start to go downhill.
What was it like after you get into it on air? Did you guys make up off air? Did you guys not talk? Did he go out for a cigarette break? Like, what happens?
We got into it on air. I didn't say anything for an entire 15 minutes on air, and things got even more awkward. And there was just more. There was more.
Tension.
Yeah, a lot more tension in the room. So it became one of those things where eventually I remember the night really well that I was like, fuck it, I gotta get back into this, put my head back into the game, finish the show, because that's what the listeners are there for.
What do you do in your free time so that you don't burn out? I meditate, I go on porn, I work out. What do you do?
Dude, I just fucking sit there on my couch and just watch fucking Maury Povich over and over and over
Get
again.
out. No, get out. Dude, your couch is comfortable. When I've been there to watch your dog when you guys go on vacation, dude, I could just lay on your couch forever. I love the setup of your TV. I was watching Drugs Incorporated, and it show's boring, and it seems so unique. Dude, your couch is awesome, man.
Dude, I fall asleep on my couch like all the time because, like you said, it's super effing comfortable.
And it's got the perfect setup where you view the TV perfectly.
Well, that's why I got the apartment the way I did. But yeah, no, I just sit there and watch stupid television, man, because I feel like it's the easiest thing that relaxes me.
I don't get into like Jerry Springer or Wilkos or Maury, but when it comes to dumb TV that calms me down, nothing makes me happier in life. Nothing makes me more content than watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force or C-Lab or Harvey Birdman.
Sure.
Seeing the adventures of Mewad and the Moonanites is some of the most underrated and best written TV of all time.
I've never really got into that stuff for some reason.
I love Aqua Teen, dude.
Like I got into the mass produced stuff of like your Family Guys, which I don't watch
Family
anymore.
Guy's trash.
Well, that's the thing. Like it's the overproduced. It's the
In your face.
It's the Walmart of animated television shows, pretty much.
You got to get into the porn shop TV shows for
The
adult
what?
cartoons. That was a bad way to describe it, since that show would be Walmart. Family Guy,
Sure.
I was trying to make an example that shows like Aqua Teen
Yeah.
and C-Lab and Mike Tyson's show would be the porn shop since they're not as big. It didn't make sense. But do you see how Aqua Teen would make my day? I mean, just hearing Mewad's voice talking to Carl, the fat next door neighbor.
I can tell just by how excited you are talking about it right now.
There's this episode where these frat aliens crash land into Carl's laser that he's trying to blow up the Aqua Teen, and it's so amazing. They crash and they go, "Where's the club? I need to piss." And I've watched it about 50 times. I love that episode.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know. I never got into this stuff. I'll take your advice. I'll probably start watching that.
You'll go home. You'll sit next to Erica. You guys will put on a blanket. You guys will cuddle. And then you'll watch.
Is Aqua Teen Hunger Force cuddle material?
It's Netflix and chill, brah.
Okay. Oh, man.
How has it been since now you and Erica both have a lot more hours here at the Bone. Is it awesome?
No, it's different. And you mentioned Erica is my girlfriend. She's the phone screener and producer for the BDRs, the show that I was on. It's a little different. We have completely different schedules now, so it's a transition period for the most part. Being mornings, I get up at 4:00 in the morning, so I usually try to go to sleep pretty early, and she's here pretty late, so it's one of those things where we don't see each other as much as we probably should. But I mean, she's trying to do her thing as well, and I can't stop anybody from doing that.
What's it like getting up at 4, dude? I did it when I worked for Rover. I got up at 5:20 though. I was very privileged that I was 10 minutes away from WMMS. So, what's it like when you get up that early?
I mean, I'm 10 minutes away as well, but I try to. I get up at 4, sometimes 4:15, and I'm in my car about 4:30, and I get here. Doesn't take very long, and start the day, man. It's coming from nights transitioning to mornings. I thought I'd hate it, but you know what? It's not bad. It's
Getting
not bad
up
at all.
in the morning, you feel like you're doing something with your life.
I do sometimes, at least.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
How hard was it when you guys ran the social media for the Lightning and you're there at the Lightning game and it's all the way in Tampa Bay and you live on the other side of the bridge by me? How hard was it getting up the next morning?
It wasn't bad, man. I've had my worst experience was my first day with Hot 101.5. I was in Atlanta, and you were actually watching my house at this point.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I was in Atlanta. I got up at 8:00 in the morning on a Sunday and went to a Foo Fighters concert that night. So I didn't leave downtown Atlanta until about 11:00 in the morning. Or not in the morning, 11 o'clock at night, and I was on air the next morning. I drove from Atlanta right to the studio, and it was the worst possible way to start out a career on a radio station. It was not fun, man.
Did they know you were burnt out? Did they help you out, or were they mad at you?
They told me not to come in. They told me go home, start on Tuesday, and I was like, fuck no. I'm starting off on a Monday because that's how it should be done. Just because I'm going out and having a little bit of fun isn't going to stop me from working.
Do you think they appreciated your passion?
I hope, man. I mean,
You're there. You're not fired yet.
I'm doing everything I can. I mean, I wanna make something great, and like you can't start off on the wrong foot.
How big do you want to be? Because I want to be the Opie, the Howard, the whatever when it comes to big names in radio. How big do you want to be? Nervous Jared, producer Jared Day.
I want to be big enough where I make a difference and I can go home and feel good about it, man. To me, that's the biggest thing. I'm not there yet. And I don't think, even if I ever get to that point, I'll never feel like I'm actually there yet.
Do you think I'm cocky?
No, man, but that's the thing. I think in this business...
A lot of people think I'm cocky, and I'm like, I'm the most self-conscious goofball you'll ever meet. In what way am I cocky?
You got to be fucking cocky in this business. That's the thing. I think if you don't have that, then you know what? You're just going to be one of the next run-of-the-mill kind of guys.
Because people go, wow, you want to be the next Opie. Damn right I do.
Exactly.
If I'm in this business, I don't want to be a middle-of-the-pack weekend rock jock in Fargo. I want to be the guy who people listen to when it comes to fake outrage, since we're all uptight pussies.
Yeah, you got to shoot for the fucking stars at all times. I mean, if I could just say, fuck it, I don't want to really do this much anymore, and just mail it in, but if you mail it in, you ain't going to get anywhere.
Is there any chance you would ever mail it in and quit radio, or are you too focused?
I don't know anything else right now, so...
I know, that's a scary part. I'm trying to think of a backup plan. I'm really trying to think, what could I do if radio didn't work? Because Soul Brother Kevin said you need a backup plan, and that scared me. I'm really trying to think, dude, I'm not good at anything. And I know people say you'll find something. I'm not coordinated. I'm not good at anything, dude.
I think Kevin's right, though. I mean, you do have to have a backup plan.
That's why I'm looking for one. That's why I'm trying to broaden my horizon. I'm just saying, it's weird, dude.
It is. I mean, it's like you keep saying, like, this is all you want, so sometimes you feel like you don't have to have a backup plan. I'm lucky enough I actually have a little bit of one. It's radio's really all I know, but I also happen to know just a tiny bit about like doing trade shows and corporate events and stuff like that, and that's what I used to do before this. So.
God, I was so focused on it as a kid, dude. Going back to 4th grade when I heard Opie and Anthony and Brandmeier and all these shows in Chicago. Oh, man, it's not healthy. It's like, wish I could go back and tell myself, be into radio. It's cool, but do something else so you're not so focused on it. I don't know. I'm not burning out. I'm not getting jaded. I try to keep myself humble, but I also just want greatness. It's so cocky to say. I don't know how to describe it. It's just I'm so
but
focused.
That's the thing, though. It's not. To me, it doesn't come off as cockiness. You're hungry, and that's the biggest thing. People that are hungry are gonna go somewhere. I think if you have a total backup plan, and I know there's people that go to college and stuff before getting here.
I went to a radio school. That's how much of a backup plan I have.
Well, no, so, you know what? So did I. But the thing is, like, people have degrees in other things, whether it's mathematics or communications or just a regular liberal arts degree. Those people have some sort of a backup plan. But you know what? To me, I think people that just jump in right away. Like, I went right from high school straight into a radio school right here. And that's all I've done. But I think that doesn't make me any different than all those other guys that have degrees. It just means that's all I want to do.
Do you think us radio guys overthink things because we're egotistical maniacs?
To be in radio, you have to be a little bit fucked up, is what I think.
I'm very fucked up.
I'm someone. I have super fucking bad depression, man. I'm one of those
me
people
too.
where, I mean, if a bit doesn't go well or a show doesn't go well, I'm gonna fucking feel it for a couple days. I think you have to be a little bit off to make it work.
How off am I, dude?
I don't know, man. Like, this is one thing that I wanted to bring up. I heard Drew Garabo talk about this yesterday on his show. How you came out of the gate the other day talking about depression, and it was to him, it was very inspiring. And I think to me, though, it's one of the biggest things. And I try to do this myself because I'm someone that deals with post-traumatic stress disorder. And
is there something that it came from?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, most people know this about me. I was in a car accident. Guy died in it, and it's one of the things. It's messed me up pretty good. And I don't really divulge a ton about it, but it's one of the things that it's messed me up. And I mean, my depression's only got worse since then. I mean, because that's something you feel that impact. You carry that burden with you. But the thing is, like I said, you came out of the gate talking about this the other day, where you brought up the things that you go through. And I think being able to talk about that stuff puts you in the same line of your Drew Garabos, your Mike Caltas, your Brandmeyers, your Chad Dukes in DC. I'm trying to remember
anybody.
Yeah, I mean, these are all people. Not saying they deal with depression or they have things that bother them.
Everyone has something.
Everybody does have something, but the people that are able to talk about it easily are some of the best people that are out there.
When I first went into radio, I wanted to have people not know that I had ADD, ADHD, and bipolar. But The thing was, it was hard to hide. I began taking Klonopin. I fixed my speech impediment. I used to have the worst speech impediment. But the thing was, the one positive thing I take away from Cleveland is that I was forced to open up about myself. And even though it was in a mean way, I've carried that on here where I don't want to let my speech impediment or my meds hold me back.
You have to, man. I mean, you got to be yourself and everything. And that's one thing that I think that everybody should do. It doesn't matter if you're working radio or you're working just a regular 9 to 5. Be yourself and everything. I mean, the way and I've said this to many people is you're not defined by what makes you fucked up or makes you whatever your issues are. That doesn't define who you are. You are who you are because of those things. But you just gotta be you.
And nothing makes me more sick. Nothing makes me more nauseated than these radio guys, and there's nobody here at Cox Media like this, and I'm not just saying that hide behind the microphone, that have these wacky radio names, and that all they live for is their show, and they have nothing else in their life. I look down on these people that have to resort to exploitation.
I mean, it kind of sucks, and luckily enough, I've never been a part of something like that. I would say it sucks, not for the people that are doing that, or that's their mindset.
Sucks for them, because once they're out of radio, they'll be sad little people.
Well, things will be absolutely different for people like that. I think it kind of sucks to the people that have to work with them. That's because I feel like sometimes you might have to walk around on your toes a little bit.
You walk on eggshells.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're the little minion and you don't want to let the person down, even though it shouldn't matter because we're all humans. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I don't know. I just want to be cocky where I know my place and I want to make it so badly, but I never want to be one of the guys where it gets to a big head and then everyone thinks you're a douche.
Sure, and I mean, but the thing is, I mean, everybody's gonna have their opinions, and I hate opinions. One thing that you're never gonna see is someone really give a good opinion. Everybody gives a fucking shitty one.
Everybody has their own. Nobody's right, even though I'm usually right.
Well, but the thing is, like, I've never come across. I wouldn't say I never. You don't come across good opinions very often, and that's something I try to say to a lot of people is everybody has something to say, but not everybody gives something good to say. Everybody has something fucking negative to say all the time.
Now, before I let you go, what are you going to do this year to make Miguel and this show a household name in Tampa Bay? How are you going to take over this market?
I think it's still early on, but the biggest thing is we need to, and I'm not saying that we're not doing it right now. It's something that we need to do even more. And I think it's something that any show could do even more is just be more connected to your listeners. And that's one thing I definitely want to do. And I want us to become that show that you can just go to. Like, if you see us in the streets, fucking walk up to us. Like,
we're not too cool for the room.
Exactly. And I want to know if something's bothering our listeners. And I don't mean radio wise, like if you don't like what we're talking about. I want to know if you're having a bad day. I want to be able to help you in some way. I think if you can connect with your listeners, then you know that's the key that gets you there.
Nothing is more flattering than when you hear that my little show makes someone's day, or the morning show on Hot 1015 makes someone's day. Nothing is more flattering than when us talking to a mic makes their day.
And you know why? Because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for the listeners, none of us would be here.
Damn right. If it wasn't for the support of Cox Media, and if it wasn't for our talent as well, we would just be other people with the microphone.
But that's the thing, though. People don't have to have talent these days, and it's something that
sad.
You know, it is and it isn't. I mean, it's opened the door for some people, and it's kind of closed the door for others. But if you can connect with people and you can make an impact, and people like what you're doing and like what you're bringing to the table, then guess what? You're going to be around for a while. And if you're around for a while, then you know you're kind of doing something right.
Now, where can people hear the Miguel Show?
The Miguel Show is 6 to 10. It is on Hot 1015 right here in Tampa. That is WPOI FM. I mean, Hot1015Tampa.com if you're listening. And like you said, you have people all over the place listening to this, which is awesome, man. I commend you for that. Yeah, Hot1015Tampa.com if you want to listen online. 6 to 10, 1015 on your regular dial here.
Well, dude, keep up the good work. A lot of people at first were kind of turned off by how annoying I was, but you were one of the people that helped me get laid back here and helped me feel at home. So it's been fun having you on Hoppe Hour.
Dude, I appreciate this, and I'll tell you this, and I shared this first time you had me on is I came familiar with you because of your passion to do this. You were just a kid in Chicago that pretty much, I'm not gonna lie, probably annoyed the hell out of everybody going, hey, can I visit your studio? But the thing is, you kept it going, and people eventually started to take notice. And when it came to the morning show boot camp, I saw all these motherfucking pictures of who the fuck is this kid? This 6-foot-tall motherfucker just taking pictures with everybody. And dude, you know what? Doing stuff like that, it shows passion. It shows that you want to be here and you want to be along with people. Not that you can go, hey, that's Brandmeier. No, that's Brandmeier, my fucking colleague. That's how you have to do things, and that's what you've always done, man. And I commend you for that.
That's Brandmeier, my competition.
I'm not just yet. Slow the fuck down. But yeah, you've
you know what I mean, though.
Exactly.
That came off very cocky. That might be the cocky Hoppe.
It's possible, but this is the thing, man. You've done it the right way. You've made your contacts across the country. I know the people in Canada fucking love you for some reason. I don't even understand how that happened.
I went on the Humble and Fred show 2 years ago, and I had them on, and oh boy, I get listens, not in Toronto, where they're out of. I don't know where this came from. Kamloops.
Okay, I don't know where that is. I'm sorry.
It's some town that's like West Virginia for Canada. Dude, Kamloops, I get 2% of my listens, and that's a lot.
That's
I get
awesome.
2% from Kamloops.
You are the most famous radio personality in Kamloops, Canada. You know, and you know what? I can't say anything about that because I don't know where that is, and they don't know who I am. So, but dude, like I said, you've done a fucking hell of a lot of work to get where you're at right now.
And this is just the beginning.
And yeah, this is just the beginning for you.
Well, dude, keep up the good work.
I
will
appreciate
see you
it.
in the hall, and I will bother you as you're trying to do your air checks for the weekend.
Oh,
And I'm
it's
like,
all
hey,
good.
how's it going? How's it going?
No worries, man.
This has been Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, saying peace out.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.